Are you thinking of moving to Arizona and you're just a little bit confused on what's going on with the real estate market? Well, today I have you covered because we're going to dive deep into the numbers, what's happening with the market, all the data, and some historical numbers as well to kind of give you guys a clear picture on what is going on. Let's get into it. But before we start, I'm Sean Janessian, realtor here in the Phoenix metro area. Obviously missing the other half of this channel, my wife Betty, who is not here. She's like, hey, you're going over numbers and data. Don't want to be a part of that. It's more fun for me than it is for her. If you guys are thinking of moving to Arizona or you're living in Arizona, you're thinking of buying or selling, guys, please reach out to us. Leave a comment, call, text us. We really appreciate your guys' comments and would love to connect with you guys. All right, so let's dive into the data. So this is going to be a market update on what's going on in the Phoenix metro area. And if you have any specific questions about any specific areas or whatever, obviously I could dive deeper into that. The reason for this video is we've been getting a ton of emails from you guys and we love it, appreciate it, asking about the market, what's happening. So I figured do a full-on video of kind of some key points of what's happening in our market. And as well as at the end, stay tuned for the end of the video because I'm going to show you guys, are people moving to Phoenix? Who's moving to, where are they coming from? All that fun stuff. So let's get right into it. So as you can see here on my screen, this kind of gives you some numbers and we're going to focus. Let me get my trusty pen out. Oh, okay, here we go. So we're going to focus here right now. Active listings. So active listings right now, this is what's active on our MLS here in the Phoenix Metro, Maricopa County, Pinal County, some parts of Northern Arizona, as well as in our MLS. Right now, there's 21,812 active listings. Now, there's a lot of information behind it, why that's important, because that has a lot to do with what is our inventory, right? Typically, our inventory needs to be around 30,000 listings to be in a balanced market. And I'm going to talk about the market and all that stuff here in a little bit, but typically around 30,000. So we are below what we need, but we are in a high interest rate market right now. It is February of 2025. So not as many buyers out for the listings. And we're going to talk about that. Now, let's talk about this number right here. How many sold homes in the MLS? These are just properties, not just single family homes, properties in the MLS the last 30 days. So we have 4,077. And I'm going to show you data that goes through each month and how you could see in the seasons what the sales looks like. And then also under contract right now, 7,478, which is good. Now let's focus on this chart right here. This is sold to list price ratio. So this is the 100 percentile. When you list a property, let's say for $100,000 and it sells for $95,000, that's 95% sold to list price ratio. So we're gonna look at the average. And this starts from January 2023, goes till January 2025. So right now, we are at an average of 97.77% sold to list price ratio. So if a house was listed at $100,000, it would sell for $97,770. Now, why is this important? As you could see, and this is what I really wanted to talk to you guys about, how this graph moves up and down and back down. This right here is January of 2023. And then as you could see, March, April, May, it goes back up. This right here was the peak, September of 2023. And then as you could see, it drops back down. January 2024, it comes back down. Then it goes back up and kind of stays flat a little bit and starting to come back down January. So what that tells me is probably November, December, January, the activity starts to go down because sold properties in January meant there was under contract, because typically a house doesn't go under contract and sell right away, happened in December. So typically this shows holiday seasons are typically slower for sales. Now let's move on to the next one. This chart right here reaffirms that sold listings and price per square foot. So this is the amount of sales per month, and then this is the price per square foot. So as you can see, it starts January 2023, and this is January 2025. So again, you could see start slow. So this was 4,000 sales last January. Right now it's similar. It's little under 4,000, but this is not the full January, guys. Just keep an heads up. Again, here, this is like 4,200. This is like 4,200. This one is going to end up at 4,200 when it's all the data, because it's early February, so it's not fully all the data. But as you can see, it goes up and down. So it goes up and then comes back down. January, December, and then goes back up for the peak months, selling season as we like to call it. So there is a selling season, and we're going to talk about how this could affect you. If you are a seller, well, let's say you're a buyer, how would this affect you? You know there's going to be more options, more activity in the March, April, May, June, July market. But that also means there's gonna be more competition for you as a buyer. Now, as a seller, let's say you're selling your property here in Arizona, there's more competition and activity, more sales happening in the March, April, May, June markets. Right? So January, December, like we've had listings in December, January that still sell. It's just slower. So when you're thinking of like, hey, how can this affect me? What can I do strategically to purchase my property in the Arizona market? If I'm looking for a deal, in my opinion, those holiday times is when you could really get aggressive, and I'll show you why. Hang on, let's go back to this. This is 100% list price. So if you have a listing for $1 million and you list it, it should sell for $1 million if you're 100%. So the months that it's its highest are June, July, August. Here you got the May, June, July. So that's when it's at its closest to list price. If you're a buyer and you're buying in the November, December, January season, that's a 3-ish% discount that you could potentially get. This doesn't include getting seller concessions. This is just the list price. So if you're trying to negotiate, you know more than likely the averages during this time of the year, you could get a 3% discount. Right now, obviously some of the homes you could get a 10% discount, right? It varies, these are averages. Now this one goes back till 2001. So this shows the full historical data per month, how many home sales have happened since 2001. So as you can see, again, January, the lowest sales, right? February creeps up, March, April, May, June, the highest selling months. Then it starts to come back down. So November sees a big dip. December has some decent sales. So as you can see, this kind of shows you guys like the November, December, January timeframe where it's slower is as a buyer, you could try to get more deals. And if you are selling as a listing, you know, as a seller, you really want to be strategic with that pricing. That's really going to matter. It's a different market at that time compared to the really busy selling seasons. This is really important to understand when you're listing a property. So let's keep going. This chart right here, guys, this is the Cromford Market Index. What the Cromford Market Index is, it breaks down each city here in the Phoenix metro area, and it shows you, is it a buyer's market or seller's market? Because Phoenix as a whole could be a certain market, but each city is going to be a little bit different. And within those cities, the streets, the neighborhoods, all that stuff is going to be a little bit different. So anything in the Cromford Market Index that's over 100 is considered a seller's market. All right. Anything under 100 is considered a buyer's market. Now, does this mean that anything in Queen Creek that's right now a buyer's market, that you're not going to get multiple offers, you're going to just get everything you want? No, not particularly, because it is case by case. But this gives you a good overview where in Chandler right now, you know, if you have a listing, it will go fast. We just actually had a Chandler listing. We put it on the market on Thursday, and by Sunday we had 2 offers. We were over list price, right? It's still happening now, but there are listings in Chandler that are sitting. This does show that there's more demand right now, technically, in these cities currently today, but this changes. Okay, so as you can see, last month, Chandler's gone up in 10%, Fountain Hills has gone down in 6%. So it's just interesting data to keep track. I keep track of this every month to see what's happening, which cities are moving. It gives me as an agent really good information. And guys, if you want more specific numbers on a current city, area, neighborhood, whatever, reach out. Zip codes are big out here. Let me know. I could get super specific with this data to help your transition. If you're thinking of buying or selling and want to know what's going on, would definitely recommend reaching out. I'll definitely get that info to you guys. And as far as even investment properties, I know a lot of you guys watching have investment properties. That is something I do separately as far as the information. So please feel free to reach out. Let's keep going though. So this goes back from 2008, okay? The times when things went crazy in the real estate market. And this is the monthly average sale price in the greater Phoenix MLS, okay? So this shows where our monthly average sale price has gone since 2008. So obviously 2008, 313,000, right? That was not the peak. I can't see before 2008, unfortunately. And then it dropped all the way, as you can see here, 158,000. I think we got down to 152. Yeah, 151. So $152,000 as an average sale price here in the Phoenix Metro. That was in August of 2011. So it went from 313 all the way down to 151. So big, massive drop in just like a 2-year span, right? And that was a fast decline. And as you could see, it went back down. It was kind of until 2012. Then 2013, we started seeing Phoenix change and really get people back in the market. Now, this happened to all over the country. There was a real estate market crash, right? But Phoenix specifically got hit the most. I think Phoenix, Vegas, Florida were one of the larger ones that got hit the most. Mainly for Phoenix, I believe, is back then in the 2009, 2008 timeframe, Phoenix didn't really have much. It was a tourist attraction and real estate. People were buying investments here, and that was really it. There was not this migration to Phoenix for jobs and all that, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, as far as why it's grown so much here in the Phoenix Metro. So this shows us, like, yes, most of the country got hit really hard. We got hit a little bit harder because we didn't have, and I wasn't here at the time, but from everything I've read and people I've been here for forever, that the market here was just, there was no foundation, right? If you go to other states like New York, right? New York City, people go there because it's the financial capital of the world. There's jobs. So the market will always be pretty good there, right? So as you can see, 2020, January 2020, we hit 375. And that's kind of like, we had a good steady growth. It was looking like, hey, we're back. Phoenix is growing. People are moving here at this time, like right before 2020. It was kind of like still kind of hidden place to go, right? And then COVID happened and the spike, obviously the spike was everywhere. We got up to 600,000 in June of 2022, which was the highest at that point. $600,000 average sale price, which was a huge, people who were here just 10 years ago saw the 150s, right? So you could see how like that was crazy out here, $600,000 average. Now in most other major populated cities, that's not really that high, but to where Phoenix was, that's super high. And then it dropped, the rates went up, and the prices dropped. We went down to 522, back up to 586. Now we're at an all-time high of 649, which is kind of shocking to see. And that is pretty weird to see. I would assume we would be in like the high fives, low sixes. I'm interested to see why this jumped up to 650. I want to give it to the rest of the year. I think that's going to change. Not that we're going to see a big decline in the market, but that's just kind of, that's a weird spike there. But regardless, that's where we're at right now. If you're watching this and you're like, well, yeah, Phoenix is going to see another crash. I personally, and again, yes, I'm in real estate, so I'm biased. I thought a crash was going to happen during COVID. It didn't. I thought another crash was going to happen with these interest rates. We didn't. It wasn't great for sales, but we didn't see that crash. If we were going to see a crash with these high rates, I think we would have seen it by now. The economy wasn't great. A lot of factors that should have dropped the prices, but they didn't because there's still demand here because of certain things we're going to talk about right now. So interesting stuff here. I would love to know, guys, in the comments, what do you guys think of this, right? I know for the Arizonians watching this that's been here for 20, 30 years, this hurts because you're like, oh man, there was a lot of affordable housing back in the day. Now the prices have skyrocketed and it does make it kind of impossible to purchase here. Obviously, there's a lot of areas where you could get in the 400s, 350s. If you're in the outer skirts of the Phoenix Metro, you could still find really, really good deals, guys. So let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. So why has this number moved up? Well, let's look at Phoenix Business Journal article. Just came out. Arizona ranks among the best states for entrepreneurs in 2025. That is a thing. People are moving here because of opportunities, which we didn't have back 10, 15 years ago. This has become a spot to move to. There's a lot of reasons why. So a few reasons is right here, new business growth. We're ranked number 8 in the country, up from number 38th last year. Job creation rate, we're number 4. We were the same as last year. Consumer spending, we're number 26, up from number 43. So if you're starting a business, consumer spending is important. Educated worker mobility, number 5, down from 4 last year. So there's a lot of companies moving here, a lot of growth. You're seeing just a lot of just major corporations even bringing headquarters here. So there is that growth aspect because real estate moves off of growth and money. If there's money, real estate will grow. If there is no money, the real estate's going to go down. That's kind of the simplest way for me to look at things. And the way Arizona has been, it's been a huge growth city. The infrastructure could handle it. That's why I know a lot of people say, oh, we have no water, we have this. That's going to be taken care of, in my opinion. I think it's just, there's ways around it. I'm not a water expert, don't come at me, but there is reasons to come here. There's a lot of growth, there's a lot of opportunity, and the infrastructure, it's not outdated, it's all newer. There's newer highways they're building. So there is space for the people. And obviously with more people comes more building, more, growing out the city more, right? So we have that space too, which is great. Cause like you go to other places where it's kind of congested already and it's still growing, there's really nowhere to go, right? Here we have growth opportunity. So I don't see prices skyrocketing because we have so much room to go. Where are they moving? Okay, so this chart, this is state population change attributed to interstate migration. So this is where are people moving to. The red indicates they're moving out of, so there's a net outbound migration, and then there's a net inbound migration, and then there's just like the status quo that's really not changed much, right? So as you can see, California, one of the biggest, they have lost 0.61% of their net population. A lot of stuff happening in California. We see a lot of Californians move here. Don't California or Arizona, right? Because there's a reason why people are moving from California here, okay? There's no secret there, guys. So California got hit, New York, Alaska. Now let's look at Arizona. So we were ranked 9th in net inbound migration. So we were top 10 in people moving to. So we got 0.47% net population change. So, like the highest one was probably right here, South Carolina, ranked first with 1.26. Here we were number 9th. Second was Idaho. Now, there was another chart that I had that I don't have access to anymore. It was from IRS data, which shows where people are actually moving from. And the biggest is obviously California, Oregon, we have Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan. If you see a theme here, it's either California or very cold states, right? Those are the places that people are moving from here. Washington is not cold state. There's parts of Washington that's super cold. Washington, Oregon, a lot people from there. Again, we get a lot of people from, let's see, where are my Minnesotans? Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois. We get a lot from even New York, New Jersey, we're getting a ton of people from, right? Because I know people from New York typically go to Florida, but we are getting people to move here. In 2023, let's go back. We were ranked 15th. So not too bad as far as net migration. So people were still moving. 2022, we were ranked 8th in net migration, 1.3%. And then 2021 was one of our biggest. We were ranked number 4, 1.7%. Again, California has been in the red since then. So what that tells me, this is not a fluke. People are moving to Arizona. The weather, the opportunity, the housing, just the landscape, the sunshine, right? I know I said weather, but sunshine. People are making that decision. It's a lot more family-friendly state, a lot more, just so many positives in my opinion why people are moving here, and the data backs it up. So guys, if you guys have any questions, if you're considering a move to Phoenix metro area or anywhere in Arizona and you just want a little bit more information, want more data, want more stats, feel free to reach out, guys. I would love to help you guys. So yes, please guys, feel free to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, send us an email, set up a phone call, 15-minute Zoom call with us. We would love to help you out. And I promise next time Betty will be on the video. We won't be going over numbers to bore you guys. Well, that wraps up our video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I promise Betty will be back for the next video and you won't be bored with just me. So see you guys next time. Bye.